Hello and welcome to another edition of Up the Reds with me, Andy Canby. So today's one is, well, there's quite a few bits in this one today, but we'll start off with the obvious one. We play Brighton tomorrow in the FA Cup, uh, and it's a 1:30 kickoff, and it's going to be on ITV. So those of us who are not going down to good old Brighton can watch that. On the TV there. So let's get on to Jurgen's press conference. Well, um, interesting press conference for me. He said that Virgil van Dijk, Bobby, and Jota, they will be back hopefully in 2 weeks' time. Now, when Jurgen Klopp says that, take it with a pinch of salt. It could be 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, I don't know if it is 2 weeks or not, but when he does say things like that, it just seems to be a bit longer. And also, Luis Diaz is going to be out for a bit longer than that. So yeah, on the injury front, hopefully we can get some more bodies back into the fold. Saying that, when they do come back, it'll be at least 2, 3, maybe 4 games before they come up to speed, and also if they don't pick up any niggles, because when you're out for a long time, this seems to be the case with players that they pick up niggly injuries, not really to do with the injury that they first had. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens on there. So he was asked at the press conference whether he would be mixing the team about, and he was forthright in his answer. He said that he will be looking at the players that have started the last 2 games as, if they're ready to play, they'll be the first choice. So I don't know whether this was a kick up the arse to the players that haven't started the last 2 games away at Wolves in the last round of the FA Cup, and the board draw 0-0 at Chelsea. So yeah, as I say, I don't know if that was a kick up the backside for those players who haven't started, whether they come in. Come in, if they do come in, they need to perform a lot better than the last performance against Brighton. Just on that last performance, Jurgen Klopp said after that game that it was the worst team performance of his managerial career, and he meant that about all the teams that he's managed. So it was a bit of a boring, well, the performance was absolutely crap. So back onto the game tomorrow. I'm not bothered about it. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to a better performance. Brighton have a couple of injury issues to deal with. I mean, this is stupid me saying 34-year-old Adam Lallana, who's been playing really well, he's picked up a niggle. There's one of the centre halves has picked up a niggle as well. So, but yeah, don't know what team that Brighton will pick out against us. But for me, I want to see a performance. I've not seen a performance really at Wolves when we're beaten 1-0. The Chelsea performance, well, that was. I tell you what I think. I am struggling to find the only other positive I can think of is we've had 2 clean sheets, but I'm struggling to find what type of football that we're playing. It's certainly not the football 12, 18 months ago. So yeah, I think we're just scrapping for results at the moment. There's no style in our play. Players are getting moved about all over the pitch, rather than playing in their natural positions, etc. So yeah, but yeah, better performance, let's not concede first in the FA Cup. If we get a result down there, after 60 minutes, will I take a 1-0? Yeah. After 70 minutes, 80 minutes, I'm still looking for a 1-0 win. 85 minutes plus, looking at a replay. But Jurgen doesn't want a replay because of the fixture schedule. But if it's going to be a replay, it's going to be a replay. So, I've no idea who Jurgen's going to start with in that game, because the following Saturday on the 4th, we're away to Wolves at 3 o'clock. So, and then obviously we've got Everton on the 13th at home. It's a Monday game, I think, at 8 o'clock kickoff. That'll be on Sky. And then obviously the game after that, Real Madrid at home in the Champions League. And then we've got Crystal Palace as our final fixture of February, if there's no replays. If we don't get a replay game against Brighton. So, I'm hoping it's going to be a good team performance, as I was saying, better than the last two, or the last three, if you throw Brighton's game into the mix there as well. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Any other news? Well, we'll just talk about under-21s. They played last night. Funny enough, it was Wolves away. In the Prem League 2 game, they won 1-0 with Oakley Connolly scoring the winner in the 84th minute, coming off the bench to do that. He's been injured of late, so he's been getting minutes here and there. So under-18s, as I'm speaking to you, are playing Middlesbrough away, so I've no idea what that is. And the women's, they play tomorrow at, I think it's Chelsea in the Women's Vitality FA Cup round tie. So I can see Chelsea getting through on that one, unless the Liverpool cause an upset in that game. So, other news. Well, I just want to talk about, there was a joint statement put out by Spirit of Shankly and Manchester United Supporters Trust this week about having a football regulator and about time, etc., etc. It was worded, that they support the government into bringing a football regulator in. Now, as you know, Gary Neville has been harping on about this for a couple of seasons now. He wants it in because obviously he's owner of Salford Football Club, or joint owner with some other ex-Man United players, and he wants transparency from top to bottom, owners' test to be more rigorous, etc. But I think at the end of the day, for him, what he really wants is the money that's really at the top of the game, the Premier League plus Champions League, filtering down to the lower leagues. Well, I mean, if you're a supporter of a lower league football club, of course you want the money trickling down to your club as well. So not all teams can get into the Premier League. Championship is going to be their best place to be. And I'm not talking of teams like Brentford and Bournemouth. They're proper run clubs. They deserve to be in the Premier League, but there are some clubs in the English Football League that aren't run properly. There are some clubs in the Premiership, as you can see, that are not having a good time regarding fan supporter base. So that joint statement was put out now. Twitter went absolutely mental on this, saying that Spirit of Shankly don't speak for me. I'm not, from this and that. Look, that's totally understandable and acceptable, but what's not acceptable is the abuse that was thrown at Spirit of Shankly. I'm not a member of, or I don't donate to Spirit of Shankly. I just follow them on Twitter. I'm just thinking that we really need to be adults about this. If you remember, well, if you don't remember, ask somebody who does, or Google it. When the club was in turmoil against Gillette and Hicks, and well, in fact, I'll tell you what. If anybody follows Rob Hutton on Twitter, he's wrote an article for This Is Anfield. He's called Robbo at Robbo Highton. Read that piece about what he's put about Spirit of Shankly, etc. I thought it was a great piece about them, saying how proactive they were from the club going into administration, stopping Gillette and Hicks trying to borrow money, to put money into the club to stay in power, etc. So, but yeah, if you want, read that. Obviously, Gareth Roberts used to work for the Anfield Rap. He no longer does now, but he's still on Twitter and he still does bits and bats. So yeah, it was an interesting article, and if you can have a read of that, and you'll be mightily surprised at how well it's written about that. So on to any other news regarding the club. Being sold, money being put in, not a Scooby. I have no idea what's going on. Lots of speculation. I don't deal with speculation. I deal with what needs to be when it comes out of Liverpool. Now, the issue, as you already know, you've seen me do a few of these here now, and still on about. Do I want FSG to sell? Yes, I do. Why do I want them to sell? Because I think they've taken us as far as they can. We need to. What's happening with other clubs being bought or being eyed up by multi-billionaires? Okay, we need to be competing in that market. So yeah, I do want, but there's no moral hate towards FSG. They came and rescued the club. They did some stupid things that were wrong. We always mention these on here. They won't get away with it. Trying to hike the prices up, trying to ban the banners, the Super League, other things as well. So it's they haven't all been good for us by them, but they have listened to us when we've screamed and shout. So yeah. Do I still want them to sell? Of course I do. They need to go now. I'm not liking this bit. Oh, we're looking for investment. People putting money into it. I keep thinking about this model, and it's not really going to be good for Premier League. I mean, you've only got to look, less than half a mile away at Everton. They are in dire straits with their ownership. He's looking to sell, or looking for an extra £500 million. Mushiri, whatever he's called, and the Everton fans are going absolutely ape about that. The ownership and everything. So yeah, but on the flip side, I see they're going to. Sean Dyche might be named manager for Everton. Not so sure how that's going to go down with the fans, because he's openly a Liverpool supporter. So swings and roundabouts. But that's Everton's issue. Just want to get back to our issue on here. So yeah, nothing concrete. People are saying, oh, there's next month, which is only a few days away, there's an imminent bid coming in, etc., from the Middle East. You know, they're very keen. They're talking to FSG, but what FSG need to do, and I've said this from day one when they said they were selling, they need to be speaking to us supporters. They need to be putting bulletins out, not hear half-say stories that are coming from across the pond, from CBS and I don't know, Boston Globe and things like that. They need to be, and just on that, just saying that about the silliness that goes on in Twitter world. We don't need to be lambasting the FSG owners, with messages, etc. It's not very adult-like. At the end of the day, it's Liverpool Football Club. We supporters treat it as one of the best institutions to go and watch a game of football in, but to FSG and to others, other owners of football clubs in the Premier League, it's a business at the end of the day, and it's and that's how they will treat it, like a business and not actually football supporters. I was talking to a Man City fan recently about what the Middle Eastern people have done to their club and the surrounding area, and the jobs that they've created. Is it a positive? I got mixed reviews. I got the pros and the cons of Man City. The pros are they can go out and buy whoever they want if they want to. The cons are, they're buying too much around where the football ground is and developing it, and making money from that end as well. So, but yeah, so it is what it is. You look at Newcastle. Newcastle are looking to expand their stadia where they are now. They don't want to build a brand new one. They want to expand it. They're looking into digging 20 or 30 feet down into the ground to make the stadium bigger, because they can't expand where the stadium is in Newcastle. So you can see what happens when these deep pocket owners turn up to buy a football club, or for that matter any sporting franchise. They will maximise the money or the revenue that is coming in. So yeah, that's all it is. Let's just be sensible on Twitter. We don't need to do silly things at all on there, and that's it. So that's my little rant over about what was done by the statement, etc. So yeah, let's hope we can enjoy the game tomorrow. Win, lose or draw, I'll be back here tomorrow to give you my thoughts on the game. Look, if you like what I'm doing, smash a tick underneath, okay, or a thumbs up. If you don't like what I've said in this piece on here, and I know it's not for everybody, and I know a lot of people, I say a lot of people, I know a few people watch my videos that don't subscribe, okay, and please put a comment down, whether you disagree with what I've said or whether you think I'm right in what I'm saying. I'm old school, as you can tell by the beard. I'm not one of these young fans, I've been supporting the club a long time, just like many other oldies, etc. Okay, and just like the young ones, us oldies, we will disagree with amongst ourselves as well on where the club should be taken, which direction it should be going to from now on. Okay, yeah. So if you like what I'm doing, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, give us a smash, give us a like, or whatever it's called. And I'm going to have a few beers because it's Saturday afternoon. I might watch an FA Cup game or two, or whatever game's on Sky later on. You have a boss day. Up the Reds.